We bought this house knowing it needed a lot of work. First and foremost, it needed new windows. The main reason we wanted new windows was as far as conservation of energy, heat, cold, and also cosmetics. We interviewed a lot of door and window companies. A lot of them promised things, and we looked at their product and we didn't like them. And then we came across Dial One. The salesperson came out. He was very convincing about the product. I liked everything that he said, and then I brought my husband to the showroom, and that was when we were sold on them. And everybody that helped us along the way, whether it was the salesperson, whether it was the owner of the company, always had enough time to answer all of our questions, and we knew we were getting a good product. When the sales representative came to our home, he was so knowledgeable about the product. He wasn't just making a sales pitch. He knew the product. He knew how it was made. He knew how it would help us as far as conservation of energy, noise reduction. That was another big selling point for us. And also, he was able to give us the positives over other window manufacturers, and he didn't even have to mention the other names. We just deducted all of that just by what he was saying about the product that Dial One offered, whether it was their doors or their windows. When the bid came in from Dial One, it definitely was not the lowest. It was not the cheapest. And what made us look beyond that was the type of product we were getting. It was by far the most beautiful cosmetically, and it looked good on the inside, it looked good on the outside of the home, and as far as all of the benefits, as far as heat conservation again and noise reduction, it was by far the best window we could buy for that money. The next people that we worked with were the people that were installing the windows, and our project manager, his name was Casey, was excellent. They called him the Picasso of window installation, and I think that was true. He came in, he told me exactly what he was going to be doing. All of the men that were working with him were extremely neat. They had respect for our home and, of course, for the new windows and door frames that they were surrounding the windows and doors with. And we have two small children. They never made us feel like our children were in the way, like we were in the way, although we did try to let them do what they needed to do. And he was meticulous about everything. He took a lot of pride in his work. I thought that I was going to have to babysit these men just because I wanted my doors and windows put in perfectly. I didn't have to do any of that. They were completely motivated to do the best job they possibly could. And on top of all of that, the owner of the company came to make sure that everything was going smoothly, and it was. And even my salesperson came in to make sure that everything was going smoothly, which just proved to me that they weren't just in business to get a contract signed. They were with you through each and every step of the decision-making process, and also once the windows were put in. Dial One Windows has an excellent reputation in town, and that was proven to us every time we tried to make contact with the company. They would tell us what time they would come to our home each and every day, and they were here at the time they told us they would be, if not sooner, if not earlier, but they would always ring the doorbell at the time they told us they would be here. They took so much pride in their work. I mean, just the way they unloaded the doors and windows off of the trucks, it was as though they were handling priceless art. It sounds like such a cliche, but it was truly the way they handled the product. One of the main reasons that we wanted to get our windows from Dial One is because we knew that it would make a huge difference as far as curb appeal, and it would hopefully help us with the property value of the home. And as soon as we installed the windows, there was a friend of ours who is an architect that was driving by the home as the windows were being installed. They weren't even finished putting them in yet. And he made a point to pull up into our driveway and congratulate us on the beautiful windows and doors we had chosen, because he said they made such a difference to the curb appeal of the home. When we started looking for windows, everybody wanted to try to sell us a vinyl window. And they would bring me samples to the home. We would go look at showrooms that showcased vinyl windows, top-of-the-line vinyl windows. And my husband and I would go there, and we'd hear about how much less they cost. And that's what would get us into the showrooms. But once we saw the windows, we knew that we wanted something better quality in our home. Our home is someplace that we take a lot of pride in. We wanted something to come across as though it had quality and as though it was refined enough for the home. And we were never sold on the idea of installing vinyl doors and windows in our home. We just did not feel as though they were good enough for our home. And my husband told me, Laura, let's go ahead and look at a wood window. And when we did that, we realized that a wood window looks great on the inside of a home. However, it was too much maintenance to have a wood window on the outside. Although it looks beautiful, we didn't know how long it would look that good. And that's when we were sold on something like a Renewal by Andersen window, because it is weatherproof on the outside, but on the inside you still have a wood window, the wooden grids, which means that you've got the beauty and the refinement of a good quality window, but also in the future, if we wanted to change the color of the grids, if we wanted to just freshen up paint as you would any paint on a wall or on a door frame, we could very easily paint the wood grids, which was also a huge selling point.